Right now across America, millions of brand new cars are sitting completely still, shiny, flawless, untouched, but gathering dust. Over 4.2 million vehicles are stacked in lots from coast to coast. Dealerships can't move them, manufacturers won't stop building them, and banks are tightening the noose. Every single day, dealers lose over $200 million just in interest payments. What's happening right now isn't just a market correction. It's a total collapse of a $2.8 trillion industry that touches almost every American life. This isn't just about cars, it's about the system that built America and how fast it's falling apart. The dealers drowning in debt. Let's start at the ground level. The dealerships. They're the front line of the automotive world, but now they're becoming the first casualties. Take Sarah, a third-generation car dealer in Ohio. Her family has survived recessions, oil shocks, and even the 2008 meltdown. But this time is different. She's got hundreds of cars sitting for months, costing her $47 per car per day in interest. That's more than $3 million a year just in finance costs, before she's even sold a single vehicle. And she's not alone. Dealers across the country are quietly closing their doors, selling inventory at a loss, or handing keys back to banks. The industry calls it floor plan pressure, but what's really happening is the early stage of the Great Automotive Reset. The Great Automotive Reset. For decades, car makers built more and more, convinced demand would never end. Then the pandemic hit. Production froze, prices soared, and when factories finally restarted, they went into overdrive. By 2024, supply surged back, but demand didn't. The average new car now sits 127 days before selling, triple what it was 2 years ago. Dealerships are overflowing, storage lots are full, some dealers are renting fields and even abandoned malls just to park unsold vehicles. It's an avalanche of inventory, and it's not stopping. Every brand from Chevy to BMW kept producing as if customers were still waiting in line. But they weren't. Because behind the glossy ads and record incentives, the consumer has changed, and they're no longer buying into the dream. In the collapse in car values, used car prices are down over 30% since their pandemic peak. For many Americans, their car, once an asset, has become a trap. Imagine owing $55,000 on a truck now worth $38,000. That's negative equity, and millions of drivers are stuck there. Trading in your car, you'll still owe the bank. Selling privately, you'll take a loss. This silent financial crisis is spreading faster than people realize. Every price cut, every new incentive, every repo floods the market with cheaper cars, pushing values even lower. The more the market tries to fix itself, the deeper it falls. And when prices collapse, lenders start panicking. The lending meltdown. Banks remember 2008 all too well. They see car values falling, defaults rising, and borrowers running out of room. So they're cutting exposure fast. Auto loan approvals have dropped from 85% to just 62%. And the ones that do get approved come with sky-high interest rates, often 12% to 25%. Even buyers with good credit are being hit. Subprime borrowers? Completely shut out. Repos are up 47% year over year, and auction yards are overflowing. Lenders are selling off loan portfolios and backing away from risk. In short, the money that keeps the car market alive is drying up, fast. And when the financing stops, so does everything else. Production, jobs, and the illusion of stability. The factories go silent. Step inside an American auto plant, and you'll see it. The slowdown. Production lines once buzzing 24/7 now sit quiet half the week. Manufacturers are canceling shifts, freezing new projects, and laying off workers. GM, Ford, Stellantis, all cutting back. Tens of thousands of layoffs in the last year alone. And the gamble that was supposed to save them, electric vehicles, has turned into a financial black hole. Ford lost $4.7 billion on its EV division last year. GM delayed multiple EV launches, citing market readiness. Even Tesla's sales growth has flattened, forcing price cuts across its lineup. It's the classic boom and bust cycle. Only this time, the stakes are far bigger. Entire towns built around these factories could vanish overnight, and the workers who built America's cars for generations are watching their future fade. The EV problem nobody wants to talk about for years. Automakers promised the electric revolution. They poured billions into plants, batteries, and new models, but demand never caught up. Buyers still worry about range, charging, and high upfront costs. Even with government incentives, EVs make up only a small slice of total sales, and most are sitting unsold. Dealers who were once begging for EV inventory now can't give them away. Consumers are skeptical, infrastructure is behind, and costs remain too high. The EV dream was supposed to be the future. Instead, it's becoming another debt trap for automakers. And while the companies struggle, the public's relationship with cars is shifting in a way that no one predicted. The death of car ownership. For older generations, owning a car meant freedom. For younger ones, it often means stress. Gen Z doesn't romanticize driving. They see it as expensive, unnecessary, and often optional. With remote work, ride shares, and urban living, many just don't need a car. Why spend $800 a month when you can Uber, rent, or take public transit? And with insurance, repairs, and gas prices soaring, the math just doesn't make sense anymore. This cultural shift is accelerating the financial collapse. Fewer buyers mean more unsold cars, which means more losses for everyone else. And while this trend is reshaping America, the industry still hasn't fully accepted what it means. What comes next? Analysts predict 30 to 40% of U.S. dealerships will shut down in the next 18 months. The survivors will pivot to online sales, smaller inventories, and subscription-style ownership. Tesla proved that customers don't need a traditional dealer, and now everyone's following that model. Direct-to-consumer sales, home delivery, and build-to-order are replacing the old showroom system. Car ownership is becoming a service, not a possession. This shift could permanently reshape how Americans buy, finance, and use cars. But the transition won't be painless. Jobs will vanish, local economies will suffer, and the dream of affordable mobility could disappear altogether. The end of an era. The $2.8 trillion car market isn't just cracking, it's collapsing under decades of overproduction, bad loans, and cultural change. Dealers are drowning, lenders are retreating, and manufacturers are bleeding billions trying to pivot to a future that may never fully arrive. For a century, the car represented independence, status, and identity. But today, it's becoming one of America's biggest liabilities. The system that built the middle class, the factories, the loans, the dealerships, is coming apart piece by piece. And as the dust settles, a new automotive world will emerge. Smaller, digital, and far less personal. The only question left is, when the smoke clears, will America still be a nation of drivers or passengers in someone else's machine?